Rakesh Chaube, my dear student. Now, today I will teach you that how to find the number of images by the two plane mirrors by using circular tricks method, by using crisscross method, and by using formula. Three method I will teach you. One is the circular tricks, we call it. Second is the crisscross method, and third is the formula. As you all know that in my previous video, that is in video number 8, in my lecture number 8, I have given you an idea about that how to get the image, number of image by the plane mirror by drawing the ray diagram. Right? Now today I will find the number of images by plane mirror, by how many plane mirror? Two plane mirrors, using the first method I am teaching you right now. Second method, the first I have already over, so ray diagram method. Now using circular tricks. And then I will show you the same thing with crisscross, and then I will show you the same with formula also. My dear, why I am doing with so many method? Because sometime the number of images by the two plane mirror can only be found with the ray diagram. Sometime we required the formula, and sometime the student calculate by crisscross method. Some student don't use circular trick method, but to understand crisscross, it's very important to understand circular tricks also. Now what is circular trick method is? Now for example, take the normal one. Say I have got the mirror. Say this is mirror. And this is also a mirror placed perpendicular to each other, that is 90 degree. Right? Let this is mirror M1 and this is mirror M2. I hope it is clear. And let the object is placed, as you know, in my previous topic, in my previous lecture, I have drawn this particular image formation. Let the object is at the perpendicular bisector of mirror M1 and M2. Here, the object is at the perpendicular bisector of mirror M1 and M2. Right? Now, kitne dur pe the object is at this much distance from mirror M1. Right? Let us form the image. The object is at how many distance? This much distance from mirror M1. You can see, right? So it will form the image inside the mirror here at I1, right? Similarly, the object is at this much distance. You can see here in the diagram. Itne distance is from mirror M2. So it will form equal distance pe image inside the mirror here. That is another image I2. You know very well कि ऑब्जेक्ट इतने दूर पे है M1 से, so इतने डिस्टेंस पे है, तो इमेज will form inside the mirror at this much distance. Similarly, the object is this much distance from mirror M2. It will form the image at the equal distance inside the mirror. Here, see. Here. Right? This you know. And third image we are getting, you know, in my previous lecture video, that if I extend this mirror, because the mirror are joined here, right, here they are joined over here, so I can extend the mirror like this. So after extending the mirror, I am getting the third image. If you remember yesterday, that the image I1 is now act as the virtual object. This image I1 will be act as the virtual object for which mirror? For mirror M2, and it will give how much distance it is from mirror M2? This much distance, right? So mirror M2 will form the image of this image, say here, I3. Similarly, for I2 is over here. This will be act as the virtual object for mirror M1. For this mirror M1, because this is M1 and this is your M2. So for M2, I1 was the virtual object for mirror M2, and this is the virtual object for mirror M1. So this is the virtual object for mirror M1. It is at what distance from mirror M1? This much distance. So it will form the image at equal distance inside the mirror M1 at this point, and we get the image I3, right? Now my dear, let us use some geometry here, So this is the object. Two mirrors are kept inclined, 90 degree pe, and the object is placed at the perpendicular bisector of mirror M1 and M2. We know that yesterday in my previous video I have shown this numerical, I have shown the ray diagram also. We know we get the three image, one is I1, other is I2, right? And the third image is I3. Three image we get. Now my dear, let us proceed to circular trick method, what it is. Can you think, let us draw this diagram, this line, and join the line from here to here. I am doing with the blue pen, look at it. Let us draw this and join this. As soon as I join this, you must be knowing, look at that, and let here I have given the name M. In the diagram, you can see this side is equal to this side, that is I1 to this point, say I have written here L, that is I1L is equal to OL, I1L is equal to OL, right? And LM is equal to LM, common side. So in triangle, I am talking about in triangle I1ML and OML. In triangle I1ML and OML, you can see I1L, this much, is equal to OL. LM, you can see LM here, LM, this LM is equal to LM, common side for both the triangle. And therefore, my dear, you can see if this side is equal to this side, this is the common side. So ultimately, this side and this side are equal. That is therefore, side I1M is equal to OM. That is, this will equal to this. Very important trick. Try to understand this is what is happening. See, this much distance, this distance will be ultimately geometrically it is equal to this distance. Because this side and this side is equal. जितने दूर पे object था उतने दूर पे image था. वापस से देख लो. This is the common side for both this triangle. So ultimately this side will become equal to this side, that is O2M is equal to I1M, right? Similarly, my dear, if I draw the, say, if I join here, say, here, like this, and here I have given one name, say, S. So similarly here also, this side, you can see this side which I am doing here, this side will be equal to this side. जितने दूर पे ऑब्जेक्ट था मिरर M2 से उतने ही दूर पे इमेज मिला इनसाइड द मिरर एट I2, right? So this side and this side are equal. This is the common side. Am I clear? So similarly, I can write here in triangle, you can see OMS and I2MS. You can see OS is equal to I2S, MS is equal to MS, common side. Therefore, here also you can say OM is equal to I2M. Like here, OM is equal to I1M, similarly OM is equal to I2M. Now, what it means? My dear, what geometry says that if from one point if from one point, this is a one common point, if from one point 3 points, the point O you can see, the point I1 you can see, and the point I2 you can see in diagram. These 3 points from one point M are at equal distance. So property says that if 3 points are at equal distance, this and this are at equal distance from this point, then we can draw the circle around such point, and that circle will pass through the fourth point also, like this. And this is the method called circular trick. Here this side OM now become radius. I1M become radius. This I3M become radius. This I2M become radius. That is the image distance, the distance of the image from mirrors become the radius. And not only this, my dear, in this question, don't think only this much, think this way. Ki, what it means that, for example, if I have drawn like this, say I have taken this, these are the two mirrors, say this is mirror M1 and say this is mirror M2, right? I assume it, what I am teaching you. So what it means that, here also you can see, this is how much angle? 45 degree, right? The object is at 45 degree from mirror M1, image form at 45 degree from M1. Similarly from M2 also the object is at 45 degree, right? You can see the object is at 45 degree, the image is also formed at 45 degree from M2. See, you can see. So what I mean to say that here, for example, look at this. If suppose the object I have taken here, say here, at 30 degree from M1 and 60 degree from M2. 30 degree from M1 and 60 degree from M2. The object, I repeat, in my question, the object is at 30 degree from M1, right, and 60 degree from M2. So according to circular trick method, according to this proof, what it means, this side, जितने दूर पे यहाँ पर object है, इतने दूर पे यहाँ image मिलेगा. जितने दूर पे object है from mirror M1, उतने दूर पे I will get the image I1. And the angle will be over here, will be 30 degree. Similarly, here the object from mirror M2 is at 60 degree. So object is at this much distance. I will get at the same distance the image I2 because of object due to mirror M2, and this is at what angle? 60 degree. So here also I will get the image at 60 degree from mirror M2. So what it means that, what it shows, अगर ये 45 ये 20 degree होता, so from mirror M1 say object is at 20 degree. So I will get the image at 20 degree on this side, inside the mirror. And the say the object is at 70 degree from the mirror M2, the image you will get at 70 degree on the other side, inside the mirror in the mirror M2. I hope it is clear. So what it means that, what is the important point here to note down? That the angular distance of the object from the mirror, look at it, this is the object and this is the angular distance. What do you call this? I am writing here angular distance. So what is important point from circular trick? We came to know that from circular trick we came to know that the angular displacement, the angular distance of the image formed by a mirror is equal to the angular distance, you can say, of the object from the mirror. Please take care of this. The angular distance of the image formed by a mirror, angular distance, you can say, of the image, or angular distance covered by the image, you can say. Covered by image, which is formed by a mirror, the angular distance covered by image which is formed by image. Who form image? Mirror. So image which is formed by mirror is equal to angular distance of the object from the mirror. This is very important. So if here, say the angular distance, say another you can say the diagram. If here the object is at, say, 20 degree from mirror M1, right? Have a practice of it. And from mirror M2, say it is at 70 degree. Okay? So what will happen? According to circular trick, what will happen? I will get the image, the object is at this distance. From mirror M1, equal distance, I will get the image inside. So this will make an angle of how much degree? 20 degree, because this side and this side are always equal. So this side and this side is also equal, and it will make an equal angle then. So this angle and this angle will be equal. Similarly, my dear, here the object is at 70 degree from mirror M2. So here it will make an image here, say I2, here I1, at 70 degree from mirror M2. So this is the circular trick method. So please note it down, and then I will show you some more problems which can be done with the circular tricks method. I'll show you more problems also. Please write it down, and this can be applied. Now the same thing I am applying. Try to understand. This method I will apply to one more, which will be easy. This method called crisscross method. I'll show you that also. Now first you write this, and then I will show you crisscross method, which is nothing but a modification of crisscross method. Is the modification of this circular trick method, because most of the student don't take this method to do the sums because it takes a time. But this method is important to understand for a proof. And the proof is what? जितने एंगल पे ऑब्जेक्ट है, प्लीज टेक केयर, हिंदी में आप सुन लो, जितने एंगल पे ऑब्जेक्ट है, कहां से? फ्रॉम गिवन मिरर. Say from mirror M1 it is at what angle? 20 degree. Then the image will also form inside the mirror at 20 degree. So what is the meaning of this? The angular distance covered by image which is formed by a mirror, the angular distance covered by image, ये angular distance है. 20 degree क्या है? Angular, angle है, angular distance. So the angular distance covered by image which is formed by a mirror is equal to angular distance of the object from the mirror. Right? So please note it down, and then I will take for crisscross method, which is a modification of this circular trick method. Fast. Well, now let us see that if I take the plane mirror like this, we will apply circular trick. Right now I have taught you. So suppose I have taken the mirror, say I have taken yesterday there was a 4 problem you discussed, say this is 5th problem, I say I have taken. Say I have taken the mirror, this and this way. Say this is mirror M1, and say this is mirror M2. And let the object is here. Right? Here the object is at say 20 degree here, or say here it is X and here it is Y. That is X from mirror M1 and Y from mirror M2. You can see Y from mirror M2 and X from mirror M1. Angle is, you can see the angles. Please take care. Okay. Now, according to circular trick, what should I do? Here they are not perpendicular, the mirror are kept inclined. Earlier in circular trick, I have taken the perpendicular mirror like this. If you remember, abhi I have done. I have taken the mirror are perpendicular to each other like this. This is your M1 and this is your M2. Right? I have taken perpendicular there. And I told you if this is 45 degrees, the object is from mirror, it will make the angle at image at 45 degree from the mirror. And here if it is 45 degree from mirror M2, it will make image at 45 degree. And ultimately this will become the radius of one circle. This become the radius of the circle, right? I told you right now. So my dear, here also what you are supposed to do is, in this problem also, try to understand with this. In this also what should I do? I will draw the radius, making this as the center, making this as the center, and this is the circumference point. I will draw the radius like this. Like this. With this as the center, right? So now here what will happen? And so this become a radius, this is mirror M1, this is mirror M2. Now according to the rule, what will happen? From mirror M1 object कितने angle पे है? X angle पे. So by rule, as I given here, it will make the another image at say X on this side, right? Similarly, the object is at what angle from Y? From mirror M2, Y. So it will make the image here, say I2 at Y. यहाँ तक clear? Simple, right? I am using circular trick and the mirror is inclined. Now again, look at it. Now story is not here over, because you know that now object was this, Pega image is I1 at angle of X from M1. Why? Because object is at X from M1. दूसरा image is I2 for the object O for mirror M2, because the object is at angle of Y from M2, so it will form the image at an angle of Y. Because I have given the angular distance of the object from mirror is equal to angular distance of the image from the mirror. Angular distance. Right? Earlier I was doing linear distance of mirror inside and mirror outside. Now I am talking about angular distance. Distance B is the same for object and for the image in the plane mirror. Okay. Now, so what is my story? Next further story. This I1 is the virtual object for mirror M2, right? And ये कितने angle में है? कितने angle पे है from mirror M2? Look at it. This is this much angle. How much angle is this? 2x plus y. 2x, x and x, 2x, and this is y. 2x plus y. So the I1, which is the virtual object now for mirror M2, is at 2x plus y degree from M2. So here M2 will form its image. I will give it I3 At what angle? 2x plus y from the mirror M2. I hope it is clear. So first image I got due to object O by M2 at y. But the second image is this for this object I1, which is the virtual object for M2, and this virtual object from M2 is at what angle? 2x plus y. You can see again. So at 2x plus y, I will get the image from M2. Similarly, my dear, you can see this one, this I2. This I2 is the, because this is a mirror M1. So for mirror M1, this I2 is the object because mirror is here. I can extend the mirror like this. So mirror is here, mirror M1 is this. So this I2 is the object, mirror के सामने है. जैसे ये M2 के लिए M1 था, I1 था, because I can extend the mirror M2 like this. So I1 become in front of mirror M2. So it become object, image यहाँ बना है. Similarly, I2, this I2 is the in front of mirror M1, right? So it will form the image of this I2 also. So here it is virtual object for mirror M1, and this is at what angle? Let us count the angle कि ये कितने angle पे है from mirror M1. Now here you can see M1 x plus y here. Here you can see this is x, this is y, and this is y. So how much the answer? X, y, y. So this point is at what angle from mirror M1? X plus 2y. I hope it is clear. So this mirror M1 will form its image say here, and I will name this image as say I4, and the answer is x plus 2y from M1. So my dear, this will keep on doing. This images keep forming inside the in the circle, and every image lie on the circle like this. There will be so many image can form. No, there is a objection. कि सर ये इमेज ये 2x plus y पे मिला, ये x plus 2y पे मिला. This will continue till what? So here I am writing one thing. The image, please note down this also, very important. And then I will do the same with crisscross method. You will find crisscross is easier, but it is modification of the circular trick method. So here I am doing this. The image is keep forming till the images keep forming till the angle made by virtual object, or you can say the angle made by them exceed or equal to 180 degree. Please, the images keep forming. कब तक बनते रहेगा? Till the angle made by them greater or equal to 180 degree. What is the meaning of this? That suppose this is the mirror. Simple logic. ये mirror, ये object is over here, suppose. This mirror will give the image of this object till the object will come here, till here. When this object will come here, that is behind the mirror, you can say, here, when the object come here, behind the mirror, that is at 180 degree, do you think the image will be formed for this object which is facing which surface? Polished surface. It is facing polished surface. No. The mirror will produce the image for the object as long as the object is within 180 degree or less than 180 degree. So here I have written the images keep forming till the angle made by virtual, you can say virtual object. And what is virtual object? Nothing but the image only. Because एक इमेज का फिर वापस इमेज बनता है, फिर वो वापस इमेज देता है. That is the first image which is formed is the real one. But rest all images which are formed is due to the virtual object. Because the earlier image now become the object. I hope it is clear. So angle made by any virtual object is greater or equal to 180 degree, image formation will stop. Image formation will stop. I hope it is clear. So this can be explained by crisscross method also. Look at it how you can do it by the crisscross method. The same thing can apply to crisscross method. Now what is crisscross method? Look at it. For example, I have taken the mirror M1 and the mirror M2. Right? Let mirror M1, the first image mirror M1 form at what angle? X. Mirror M2 form the first image at what angle? You can see here. The object is at Y. Image form at Y. This is first image. Now what to do? Let us do like this. Criss-cross. These are the two mirrors. What is the angle between two mirrors? See, you can see this is the angle between two mirrors. From my diagram you give me the answer. What is? I have criss and I have cross. That is here M1 and M2 is written. That is this point represent angle between the two mirrors. You can see from my diagram angle between the two mirrors is X plus Y. Now, so what are you supposed to do? Now see the crisscross method, so easy. Now on this line over here, this is X, this is Y and this is also Y. So here I am getting the answer X plus 2Y. I hope it is clear. You can see here I am getting X plus 2Y. Similarly over here, this is X, 2X plus Y. Now again I will go further. Again the angle between them is X plus Y. Right? So now what will happen here? Here you can see this is Y and this is Y become 2Y and this is 2X and this is X become 3X plus 2Y on this side, and here it is X and this is X, 2X plus 2Y and Y become 3Y. You can see the crisscross method, what is happening. I hope it is clear. You can see the crisscross method, what is happening. That, so again I am explaining, first image is formed at what angle from X? From mirror M1? X. Similarly from mirror M2 what angle? Y. Now the second, to do crisscross method, what is the meaning? That this is the angle between the two mirror M1 and M2. So how much is the angle between mirror M1 and M2? You can see in the diagram X plus Y. Now I have done further to note down the image. Now here I go and like this and this. See, simple method. This is a. 'x' and this is x plus y. So this is x plus x, 2x plus y I am getting here. Similarly here, this is x plus y. So here it is y and y become 2y and this is x. So answer will be x plus 2y. I went further. Again the angle between two mirror is x plus y. Again I did the same story. This is 2x plus y and here it is x plus y. So how much is the answer? 2x plus y and x plus y. So what is the answer? 3x plus 2y. So I got here 3x plus 2y. And here this is x plus 2y and here it is x plus y. So how much is the answer? X plus y and x plus 2y. The answer is 2x plus 3y, which I have written here. So how much images is formed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But perhaps this any angle, this image which I am writing here, either along M1 side, x, x plus 2y, 3x plus 2y, or this angle, y, 2x plus y, 2x plus 3y, this angle, any of this angle should not exceed, that is 3x plus 2y, which I have written here, or 2x plus 3y if greater or equal to 180 degree, image formation will stop. Image formation will stop. Take care of this line. कि अगर ये कोई भी एंगल यहाँ पर है, जितने एंगल मैंने बनाया, पहला एंगल इमेज फॉर्म m1 by x, image is formed at x, m2 form the image at y. Another, then I keep on doing, because this is finding some student difficult, sir, this is so difficult, so clumsy, and for that reason the modification is made by the crisscross. I'll show you by doing the numerical also. You will understand very fast. But right now you please note down that how this method will take place. So first image is formed by mirror m1 at x, the first image formed by mirror m2 at y. After that I have taken the crisscross method. It means that when I draw like this is the angle between the two mirror, that is m1 and m2. How much is that angle? X plus y. So first image will be added by that angle. So what is the answer here? X and x plus y gave me 2x plus y, which is formed on the m2 side, and the image of y become the virtual object for m1. So now this will be on this side. Y plus y become 2y and plus x, that is x plus 2y. That is the image formed on m1 side. And this will be keep continuing together. But at the end, my dear, what is important? See, none of this angle, I have taken here only the last angle, 3x plus 2y and 2x plus 3y. But see to it that none of this angle should greater or equal to 180 degree. Once they become equal or greater to 180 degree, the image formation for the mirror, plane mirror, will stop there itself. Make a note of this, please. Make a note of this point. It's very important point. I will show you by doing the numerical also. So please write it and then I will proceed for the next. All numerical problem I will show you with the method of this. Fast. Well, let us do the numerical based on both. I am taking one problem on circular trick as well as crisscross, both same problem, and then I will show all the numerical with crisscross and then by formula method. So ultimately at the end I will tell you which are the three things which are supposed to do. Now, so let us take, my dear, I have taken here the plane mirror like this, two plane mirror like this. Say this is your mirror M1 and say this is mirror M2. Okay, and the object is say taken at over here. Say this is at 30 degree from M1 and say 60 degree from M2. You can see 30 degree from M1 and 60 degree from M2. The object is, I have drawn my arrow, you can see, right? So let us draw with the circular trick method first. First of all, I will draw the circle so that this become the radius, this line. object distance become the radius also. So now what is the method? The first image is formed by mirror M1 at what angle it is? 30 degree. So it will form the image at 30 degree like this. I am drawing the image only with the dotted line now. So this will form the image at 30 degree and write that image named as I1. Okay. And let us extend the mirror also so that you understand more. Let I am extending the mirror so that you understand mirror का 90 degree किधर है, mirror का 150, 180 किधर है, everything. Mirror M2 90 degree is this and this. For mirror M2 the 90 degree is this and this. For mirror M1 the 90 degree is this and this. Okay. So take care. Okay. Now let's proceed for the next diagram. Now for mirror M2, the object is at 60 degree. You can see in my diagram. So now the image is formed at 60 degree from mirror M2 on this side. Let that image is named as I2. This is 60 degree from mirror M2. Okay. And अभी ये image मिल रहा है, right? We are getting the image. I got how many image? 1, 2 image till now. But now let's go to the next step. This I1 is now the virtual object for M2. So here I am writing virtual object for M2. And how much angle of this object I1 from M2? You can see here it is 90 and here it is 30. You can see. I hope it is clear. So at 120 degree, this I1 is there. I1, which is the object for M2, this is at 120 degree from M2. So here is 90 degree of M2. This line is the 90 degree of M2. So 120 degree will be somewhere here, say. And thus here it will form the angle of 120 degree, and I will get from mirror M2, because this is at object from mirror M2 at 120 degree. So I get an image from mirror M2 at 120 degree. Here I have written, and let this image is named as I3. Why I am doing, I have taken earlier problem with X and Y, because I thought that I should take some number so that you will understand better instead of taking alphabet. So there I have given example, but here I am doing with number, and same thing I will show by crisscross method. But let us count the images formed by circular trick method first, and then we will confirm by the crisscross method that whether we are getting the same answer or we are getting the different answer. Okay. Now similarly my dear, जैसे ये I1 M2 के लिए object था, वैसे ही I2 is the, I am circling this, is the virtual object for mirror M1, right? And this is at what angle? I am using different pen. Try to understand. Here, this is mirror M1. M1 is here. You can see in the diagram. So from M1, ये mirror, ये image कितने दूर पे है? You can count. Here it is 90. Till here it is 90. This entire is 90. Right? So how much is this? This is 60. So this entire is, this entire is 150 degree from mirror M1. And mirror M1 का 90 degree यहाँ पर है. You can see this is M1. This is 90 degree of mirror M1. I want the image at 150 degree because the object is at 150 degree. You can see at 150 degree from M1. So it will form the image. This is 90. Like this is the 150 degree of mirror M1. Here the next image form, and that image is I4. You can see the arrow. Please see the blue arrow, black arrow I am drawing. Mirror say object, image, everything. You should clear about it. Look the video for 2-3 times if you are not clear with the answers. Right? Now let us go for the next step. What is the next step? Now I got the new images I3 and I4. I1 and I2 की स्टोरी ओवर. इमेज बना दिया मिरर ने M1 और M2 ने I1 I2 ऑब्जेक्ट को लेके. अब I3 I4 पे आ जाओ. I3, first you come to I4. Now I4 is how much angle from mirror M2? Try to understand, because I4 is the virtual object for mirror M2. Why? Because this image was formed by M1. Logic use करो अभी बहुत. We have done so many lectures on this. This is the I4 was the image formed by M1. So if it is an image formed by M1, now it will be virtual object for mirror M2. Similarly, I3 is the image formed by M2. So it will be the virtual object for mirror M1. But do you think this object for these two mirror will make an image? Let us check it out. Now my dear, let us check first I4. I4 किसके लिए object है? M2 के लिए. Okay. Now how much is the angle of this I4 from M2? You can see here, between these two is 90 degree. M1 and M2 you can see it is 90 degree. हमको M2 से measure करना है I4 तक. Here. M2 से I4 तक I am doing for your purpose. M2 से I4 तक कितना एंगल है? This is 90. You can see, and this is from here to here. You can see here 150. So 90 plus 150 become 240 degree, which is greater than 180 degree. So it means I4 will not form further image. It will not help mirror M2 to form the image, because for this the angle is exceeding 180 degree, because this object I4 for mirror M2 is at from here. See, I am running my pen, is from here to here, and if I calculate this angle, this is 90 here and this is 150 here. So 90 and 150 give me total as 240 degree. So I4 will not make further image by mirror M2. Similarly, look at for I3, whether it will making, this is the object for which mirror M1. Now look at I3 कितने angle पे from M1. Now again here, this side story. This is 90 degree. And this angle I have drawn here, this angle is 120 degree. So from mirror M1, this is at what angle? I am drawing bar side pe. That is 90 plus 120, that is 210. Again it is greater than 180 degree. So it will not also help the mirror M1 to form the image further. So my dear, with this I am getting only 4 images for this question. Only 4 images. Let us do the same with the crisscross method. Mirror M1, mirror M2. Between the two mirror, what is the angle? 90 degree. But for object, this was at 30 degree and here it is 60 degree. This is M2 and this is M1. So the first image for M1 is formed at 30 degree. And for M2, the image is formed at 60 degree. Okay, now let's go further. Crisscross. What is the angle between two mirror? 90 degree. So now 90 plus 30, 120 degree. 60 plus 90, 150 degree. I am getting all this angle here also. You can see, you can confirm. So best method the science has given us. Now go further. You have to do it till you are crossing 180. जब तक 180 नहीं मिलता है करते रहना है. Okay. Now let's see here, and then I will tackle some other problem also, where some other situations also. Now again here 90 degree between two mirror. So now 90 plus 120, 90 plus 120, 210, 210. That is 210. And 90 plus 150, 240. Oh God, it means 210 exceeding 180. 240 is also exceeding 180. Exceeding, sorry, like this. So they are exceeding 180 degree. It means they will not form the image. So how much image I am getting? Image I1, image I2, image I3, image I4. And this will not help to form the image. So from here also I am getting the answer 4 images. So through this lecture, I try my level best to give you both the method together. That is the circular trick method also. This is called circular because I have explained this. Circular tricks. And this is called crisscross method. So most of the student has this opinion that instead of doing circular trick method, it is easy to do with the crisscross method, which is the modification of circular trick. Please write it down and then I will show you some more numericals. Well, let us begin with some problems on the basis of crisscross method. We will do all the numericals now, and I'll tell you at the end what are the formula, because most of the student using the formula to do all these numericals. So look at the crisscross method to do the numericals. Say I have taken number 1. Say I have given you the numerical of this kind. Say this is the 2 mirror. This is 1 mirror. You can see, say this is M1 and this is M2, right? And let there is an object here. This is at say 25 degree and say this is at 45 degree. Let from mirror M2 the object is at 45 degree and from mirror M1 the object is at 25 degree. Let's start. How many number of images? So here the question is find number of images and number of overlapping. I will give you the knowledge for overlapping also. The two question, find number of images and find number of overlapping in the given problem. Okay, and this is the question given. So now what to do? Let's start for crisscross method. Here M1, I'm doing the rough work here. M1, this is M2. Here I'm showing working. So M1 will make the image at how much angle? 25 degree from because object is at 25 degree, so image will be made by M1 at 25 degree, right? By M2 it will make at 45 degree on the other side. You know that, I should not repeat it. Then again, crisscross, the angle between these two is how much? You can count 70 degree. So here it is 70. So now 25 and 70 will give 95. And here 70 and 45 will give 115. Now again it will go for the crisscross. Here it is 70. 95 and 70 will give me 165. And this will give me 185. 185, it means it exceeding 180 degree. So it does not form image. Right? This does not form image. So how many image? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer for this is number of images for the given question is 5. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because sixth image, this image is 185. Greater than 180. It will not form image. Not form image. So you can see, and there also you can say M1 forms how many image? 3 images. You can see 1, 2, 3 on M1 side. 1, 2, 3. And M2 forms 2 images. That is for 1 and 2. Third image is exceeding 180 degree. So total image formed by them is 5. M1 के साइड में जितना लिखा है that is image formed by M1. M2 के साइड में जितना लिखा है that is image formed by M2. But at the M2 side, the last one is 185, which is exceeding 180, and therefore it will not form image. And hence for M2, only 2 images are formed. One at form at 45 and other form at 95. For M1, the image form at 25, the image form at 115, and the image form at 165 also. Right? Take the next numerical. You can do as much numerical as you want from this. Now say I have taken the 2 mirror like this, perpendicular. I will teach you the overlapping also. This is M1 and this is M2. So let the object is here, making say 20 degree here and 70 degree here. 20 and 70. And the question is, find number of images and number of overlapping. In the given problem. Earlier in this question there was no overlapping. I will tell you what is the method of overlapping. I will tell you what is the method of overlapping. But here there is no overlapping. You can see because 185 and 95 is 185 and 95. Yes. I'll tell you the method for overlapping. Here there is no overlapping. So here I will write no overlapping. Now how I decide whether there is a overlapping or no overlapping? That is also important. Then I will go for this numerical. How will we decide whether there is a overlapping or there is a no overlapping? My dear, if any of the sum of this angle, here you can see 25, 70 and 45, if it becomes 360, if the sum will become 360 degree, then we will say there is overlapping between these two images, that is image at 25 and image 45, they are overlapping. So it doesn't mean overlapping. Some students say overlapping means that the angle is the same, that is 25, and here also if it is 25, most of the students think overlapping ho gaya, because angle made by them, both the mirror is same. No, wrong. Don't you think that? I'll show you the case. So what is the important for overlapping? Here I am writing, for overlapping, the sum of the angle formed by two images, the sum of angle formed by two images and angle between two mirrors. What is this? 70 is the angle between two mirrors. And what is 25 and 45? This is the angle formed by two images. The sum of the angle formed by two images and angle between two mirrors, if equal to 360 degree, then the given two images overlapped. Please take care. So when the image will overlap, when the angle of the two image, either you can take 25, 45, ऐड करो इसको 70 हो गया, और ये 70 मिलके 140 हो गया. So this 25 and 45, the image form at 25 and the image form at 45 by mirror M1 and M2, they don't overlap. Look at the next step. This is 115 and this is 95. 115 and 95 will become 210. Right? 210 and this 70 will become 280. Again, this two image 115 पे जो image मिल रहा है and 95 पे जो image मिल रहा है, they are not overlapping. Why? Because the sum of this three angle is less than 360. Here also it is less than 360. I hope it is clear. And here it should be equal to 360 होना चाहिए. Then only overlapping होगा. More than 360 होगा, वो 100% 180 के वजह से वो बाहर हो रहा है. That you don't worry. ऐसा कोई situation नहीं होगा जहाँ पे you are getting angle. If it is more than 360, 100% overlapping में ही हो गया. But you will get the sum where you will get the sum of the angle formed by the two image and the angle between the two mirror, if equal to 360, then the two images are overlapping. I'll show you in the numericals. So image कब subtract होता है. Subtract means when we don't count the image. When we don't count the image in the plane mirror. Plane mirror में हम कब image को count नहीं करते हैं, that number को count नहीं करते हैं. When? In two cases. Please take care. In two cases. When the angle by the image is exceeding 180 degree. If the angle by the image is exceeding or equal to 180 degree, that time the image is not counted. For example, here you can see, here 185 is greater than 180, I will not count this image. And when the sum of three angles, that is the sum of the angle formed by the two image and the angle formed between the two mirror, that is angle between the two mirror, if they are equal to 360, then that time the two image will overlap So if the two image will overlap, we'll count it as one image. अगर दो लोग ओवरलैप कर रहा है तो अगर दो इमेज ओवरलैप कर दिया तो दो को हम एक काउंट करते हैं, तो वहां पर इमेज सब्ट्रैक्ट हो गया, एक सब्ट्रैक्ट हो गया. तो इसलिए मैंने पूछा कि इमेज कब सब्ट्रैक्ट होता है, नंबर ऑफ इमेज कब सब्ट्रैक्ट होता है. दो केसेस में, एक तो 180 डिग्री को एक्सीड कर रहा है या इक्वल है, उस समय इमेज नंबर ऑफ इमेज काउंट नहीं होगा. और दूसरा, इफ the sum of the angle formed by the two image and the angle between the mirror is equal to 360, then that will be the case of overlapping. And in that case, out of two image, because two will be overlap, two image will be overlap, and out of that two image we will consider only one image. We will consider only one image. One image will be answer for overlapping. Am I clear? I'll show you that numerical also. But take part of this, and at the end I will ask you this two question, that what is the important point when we don't count the number of image. Am I clear? So here look at this problem now. Here is the working for this problem. Working. So in the previous sum there is no overlapping. There is no overlapping. Total 5 images we will get. None of the images overlapping in the previous sum, because sum of the three angles, that is angle between the two image and angle between the mirror, don't exceed or don't equal to 360. Okay, now they are not equal to 360. Okay, now look at the next one. Look at the next problem I am doing here. M1 and M2 here. M1 object is at 20 degree, image will form at 20 degree. For M2 the object is at 70 degree, image will form at 70 degree on this side. Now crisscross, the angle between them is 90 degree, right, between the two mirror. Now let's